Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the heathen, nor sitteth in the seat that can't fall. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and this Lord I say, I did sunrise and sundown. Him I go dear like a tree planted by the rivers of water that bring forth fruit in the season. Him never I go wither, and whatsoever him jewel shall prosper. Yea! The heathen them now they saw them dear like a chaff which the wind driveth away. Therefore the heathen them never go turn upon judgment, and see them and them in the congregation of the righteous. For the Lord God Jah love the way of the righteous, and the way of the sinner and them always and always. I go perish. Let the people of the Most High God say, Jah! Kadama we grumabe ate lo higzag beer tana istalin abba shante 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 shante. Kadama we grumabe ate lo where 2 centuries meet in the name of the Most High Jah. And that's so Jaja there. If Jaja never build up your house, the builder I go build it in the same way. If Jaja never watch upon your heart, and watch upon your house, and watch upon your land, and watch upon every little thing where you have, the watchman will go watch it in vain. The name of the Lord is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it, and them is saved. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but Jah shall deliver him from all of them. And I give thanks, and I give thanks, and I give thanks. Aw mawusobolisa, aw mawusobolisa, aw mawusobolisa, adanu wato, ewo asiple for. Akpe kaka, akpesia, ow mau. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And remember, this is the show that everybody is watching and everybody is loving. We are rewiring the mindset of our people, our continent, our land. But remember, he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High Jah shall therein abide under the shadow of the Almighty. That is why we say we are in the service of God and country. This is the Black Pot, aka Kukushonemo, where we speak truth to power. And my name, Blakk Rasta. Now in every traditional African home there is a black pot, and each time this black pot sits on the fire there is something sumptuous cooking, because several ingredients of so many different colors, shapes and sizes, aromas and smells find themselves inside the black pot to be subjected to some amount of heating. They produce what is known as food. And interestingly, the food does not go to benefit the ingredients. Neither does it benefit the black pot. It benefits us as a people, those who eat the food. Same way, symbolically, the black pot represents the continent of Africa, and the ingredients in the black pot represent us as a people. We must put aside all our differences, just like the ingredients in the black pot, and then come to interplay and produce development for our people, our continent, our land. Many people do not think about growing trees because they are so selfish. They believe they will not live long enough to sit under the shadow of these trees. So, what do they want? They want to be able to plant things that they can watch and eat and die and go and be forgotten. Like what? Like pepper, like onion, like maize. One season crop. After we plant and harvest, we eat, we sleep, we die, we go, and we are forgotten. But remember, anytime you sit under the shade of a tree, some people will say the shadow of the tree. Oh gosh, remember that some people planted those trees. They knew they would not live long enough to be able to sit under the shade of this tree. But they still went ahead to plan that, knowing very well that people from other generations would come and benefit from that. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo, where we speak truth to power, and we are in the service of God and country. We are live on Pan-African TV. We are the leaders of Pan-Africanism on TV. We are also live on Loud Silence TV. We are live on the Black Empire TV and live on Ghana Web TV. One show live on so many different TV stations around the world, and by the power of satellite, we are seen all over the world. Oh my God, that is why you must do business with us. Pick up our numbers on the screen. What business are you into? Hey, this program will make sure your business sprouts and gets better. Oh God, this is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo, and we speak truth to power. Now, the very first story I would like to look at has something to do with football. What does it say? The Black Stars captains band war. The Black Stars captains band war. Now, for as long as I can remember and recollect, this has been a big problem when it comes to Ghana soccer. Now, I remember that C.K. Jemfi, the only Ghanaian coach who was able to bring us a lot of laurels. I can count one, I can count two, I can count the third one, and I can count a fourth one. From one man, C.K. Jemfi, who used to be a footballer himself with the Black Stars. No other Ghanaian coach has been able to achieve that feat. And again, no other coach from anywhere in the world has been able to achieve that feat for Ghana. He was a Ghanaian. For that matter, a black man. But he did something very interesting. C.K. Jemfi decided to take the captainship band from Kwesi Appiah, and then he gave it to Abedi Pele. Interesting things happened. Do you remember when that thing happened? C.K. Jemfi took the captain's band from Kwesi Appiah and gave it to Abedi Pele. Now, Abedi Pele was the youngest player the Black Stars ever had. Abedi Pele played at the same time with Kwesi Appiah, even though Kwesi Appiah was older. Interestingly, they both played at Real Tamale United at the Caladan Park right there in Tamale. Interesting personalities. They have so many different similarities. But watch what happened. C.K. Jemfi decided that he was going to take the captainship band from Kwesi Appiah and then give it to who? He gave it to Abedi Pele. How did it happen? Now, there is a man who speaks his mind so much when it comes to football. Uncle Fitz. This is Uncle Fitz. Uncle Fitz knows football so much better than me. He eats football, drinks football, and sleeps football. He will take us through that journey. Watch the headlines. It says what? Kwesi Appiah, Abedi Pele behind Black Stars retrogression. Nana Fitz. Come here. Let's look at it properly. Watch it. It says what? Veteran football administrator Nana Fitz has astonishingly accused coach Kwesi Appiah and Abedi Pele for being the architects behind the retrogression of the Black Stars. Veteran football administrator, you were told, and that's Nana Fitz. He knows so much about Ghanaian football. Now watch. According to the vociferous football administrator, the two had issues during their playing days over the national team captaincy in 1992. Watch it. It will be recalled that the then head coach of the senior national team, the late C.K. Jemfi, stripped Kwesi Appiah's captainship over a mere reason of him not being able to speak the French language and handed it over to Abedi Pele. But in an interview with the Angel TV, Nana Fitz noted that the unfortunate incident brought about divisions in the national team, which lingered on till now. Look, Kwesi Appiah was a very successful captain who brought unity into the team, but that pain Kwesi Appiah felt then is still there. And that has had an effect on the Ayew brothers now. Look at what is happening now. Dede Ayew fighting over the captainship of the Black Stars till now. They are the ones destroying the Black Stars. Nana Face said. Watch, he further noted that until the feud between Abedi Pele and Kwesi Appiah is resolved, there would still be divisions of tribalism in the team because Abedi Pele still controls certain parts of the Black Stars. Abedi Pele has nothing to lose. Kwesi Appiah should give us reasons why he didn't invite Jordan Ayew, because he has formed more than most of the strikers he called. All right, I think they're trying to say he has formed. Better still, his form is good. In football, when you say you have form, it means that you are in top form. He has form more than a lot of the strikers that he's brought. And he has been playing. We all have been seeing his performance. Kwesi Appiah has the destiny of the whole country in his hands. And until that feud is settled, nothing good is going to happen, he added. Dash it away. That's what Nana Face said. And he's a football administrator. He's been described as vociferous. I love him. I met him a number of times, and I like his passion for football. That's his assertion. The problem is Abedi Pele, Kwesi Appiah, and it was all started by the late C.K. Jemfi, the only coach that Ghana had that brought us as many laureates as we can boast of even to this day. But there's another side to the story. Listen to an interesting thing that happened. After C.K. Jemfi gave the captainship ban to Abedi Pele, taking it from Kwesi Appiah, he gave one reason. What was the reason? Oh, it's an international thing. So we go to so many different countries. You don't speak French, you speak only English. Abedi Pele can communicate in English and in French. Hey! But another man in the same 1992 did something similar to this, and he has apologized for that. How many of us remember Otofista? In Ghana, when you wear trousers and then you drop the trousers and your underpants are showing, oh gosh, they call that Otofista. Because when this man first came to Ghana, that was how he was dressing. Otofista is a German coach. In fact, he's one of the expatriate coaches that we had in this country that did quite well. He was able to bring us the Junior Championship Football Cup, the day Ayew's days and all those wonderful lads. Here what happened now. He too in 1992 did the same thing that C.K. Jemfi did. After that, I'm going to ask you, did they have any good points? Did it matter? Run the story. What does it say? Ex-Ghana coach Otofista explains 1992 AFCON captaincy dispute, apologizes to Tony Yeboah. Now remember, hold it there. Abedi Pele became the captain after the captainship ban was taken from Kwesi Appiah and given to him. So at this point, Abedi Pele was the captain of the team. Unfortunately, at Senegal 92 AFCON, Abedi Pele was shown 2 yellow cards, so he had to miss the final match. And I remember the final match very, very clearly. It was between Ghana and La Côte d'Ivoire. How many of us remember that game? Oh my God. We remember the days of Stanley Abora. We remember the days of all those wonderful people, including the Ivorian goalkeeper who decided not to give us the chance to rise to the top, Agualoy. Oh my God. Hear me now. Watch the story. What does the story say? Watch it, run it. Ex-Ghana coach Otofista explains 1992 AFCON captaincy dispute, apologizes to Tony Yeboah. Run the story. It says what? Former Ghana coach Otofista has finally broken his silence on a captaincy row in the Black Stars camp during the 1992 Africa Cup of Nations in Senegal. That was the AFCON. We had such wonderful places as Ziguinchor. Reporting live from Ziguinchor. Oh my God, those were the days. Otofista was close to making history as the first expatriate to win the Cup of Nations title with the Black Stars after supervising the team to the finals, only to lose to Côte d'Ivoire on penalties. A captaincy dispute, however, emerged after the finals, which many believed caused the team to miss out on the title due to some differences amongst the players, especially between deputy skipper Anthony Yeboah and defender Anthony Bafo. Now see what happened. Yeboah, who was expected to lead the team in the finals after General Captain Abedi Pele had been suspended because he had 2 yellow cards, right? Lost his position to Bafo, who was a new entrant in the team. Bafo was a new entrant. And Otofista decided to take the captainship band and give to Bafo, Tony Bafo. Hey, watch this. This, however, sparked lots of issues with several revelations popping up after the tournament. Otofista, who took the decision, has explained the reason behind his choice on the day. So I thought to keep out this problem, and maybe it was a mistake, but I gave Tony Bafo the captain's armband because he was from Germany. That's one. And he was out of this whole clan thing. What's the clan thing? Abedi Pele, Yeboah clans. Abedi clan, Yeboah clan. Like in those days, Abedi clan, and of course, Kwesi Appiah clan, the factions. But he decided to call that clan. So Tony Yeboah had his own clan. But Bafo was so new in the team, and he had just come from Germany, and he was fresh, so he didn't have a clan. But he forgot that the clans are hard right from the captain's band, right? Hear this now. But I gave it to Tony Bafo because he was just from Germany and he was out of the whole clan thing. That is why I gave him the captaincy. Bafo also spoke French. And one of the linesmen also spoke French, just like Abedi, who spoke English and French. But Tony Yeboah spoke only English and German, not French. And I had to make a choice, so I chose Bafo. But Tony Bafo was also a player. He played in Dusseldorf and also played with Metz in France. But beyond all that, he was the most neutral. He was absolutely neutral. That's why I gave him the captaincy. But he apologized after this. What did he say? He, however, apologized to Anthony Yeboah for his decision to strip him off his role. But this was not why we lost the final. It was 28 years ago, and I'm sorry of course, I'm saying sorry. You know, he speaks German and his English is, I am saying sorry to Tony Yeboah for this, but I think it wasn't such a big problem. Dash it away. So you see, 2 coaches, and they both were interested in the French. I would understand this in Senegal because Senegal is a French-speaking nation. Of course, they have some portions of it that speak English. And he felt that for 2 reasons. One, the factionism was too much in the team, and he didn't like that. We all remember when Tony Bafo was flown, I beg your pardon, Tony Yeboah was flown all the way from Germany after playing his game in a chartered flight to come and play for the Black Stars. I remember that day he was wearing his white boots and the cartoons were all over the media, and that he was not patriotic enough. In fact, he didn't want to see the Ghanaians win the cup. He only came to make his money. Remember those days. And Abedi Pele was seen as the guy who was more patriotic. The factions were just too much and people were saying just anything, to the point that at a point they both decided that they would not play for the Black Stars anymore. It took Jerry John Rawlings to invite Abedi Pele and Tony Yeboah, in fact, to the presidency, to dine with them and beg them to continue playing for the Black Stars. That's how powerful football is. But so many years down the line, like Nanafi said, the problem is now not between Abedi Pele and Tony Yeboah. It has shifted from Abedi Pele and Yeboah to Abedi Pele and Kwesi Appiah. Is it true? Is it true? Is it true? Now Nanafi goes on to say that it is true, because that is why somebody like Kwesi Appiah will not invite the children of Abedi Pele to play for the national team. Of course, later it was disputed in that sense, but Abedi Pele had the opportunity to answer this question if there was a problem between him and Kwesi Appiah, even years after playing football together. What did he say? Watch it. Abedi Pele, I never had a problem with Kwesi Appiah or Tony Yeboah. What does the story say? Ex-Black Stars captain Abedi Pele has revealed that prior to the 1992 African Cup of Nations in Senegal, the players had no rift among themselves. Did you hear that? Before that. But during the Cup, what happened? The Black Stars of Ghana were chasing their 5th AFCON trophy, but missed out on penalties to the Ivory Coast. Rumors of a captaincy row jeopardizing Ghana's chances of winning the trophy have been rife over the years, with the decision to take the armband from Kwesi Appiah and hand it to Abedi Pele proving controversial. Speaking in an interview on GTV Sports, the former Olympique Marseille man disclosed that the team spirit was high and there were no problems as long as he was concerned. Not at all. For me, the team spirit was very good. Maybe for others, no. But for me, it was good. They announced the captaincy when we were in Portugal. And everything was okay. I never had a problem with Kwesi Appiah or Tony Yeboah. Tony was really exceptional. The 55-year-old revealed that Tony Yeboah is like a brother to him and has no problems with him. You see, people were talking, but Tony has never pointed a finger at Abedi Pele and said something against me or said anything in the newspapers. Tony was like a brother to me. Come here. Tony was like a brother to me. I don't have a problem with Kwesi Appiah. But Kwesi Appiah himself, what does he say? Kwesi Appiah became the coach of the Black Stars. And the destinies, the football destinies of Abedi Pele's children, his 3 children, rested in his hands. Rahman, Jordan, and Dede. Hey, 3 of them. And many people said that, oh, sour grapes would come to bear. Kwesi Appiah debunks feud with Abedi Pele. Coach Kwesi Appiah has denied claims that he is having a long-term rift with legend Abedi Pele. The pair are reported to have been having an age-long feud which is yet to be settled. Kwesi Appiah and Abedi Pele are said to have had captaincy disputes during their playing days at the Black Stars team. Many football enthusiasts have also alleged the Black Stars head coach decision to overlook the Ayew brothers, Jordan Ayew and Andre Ayew. A recent Black Stars collapse is as a result of the said grudge with Abedi Pele, who is the father of the Ayew brothers, not the former, the father. Kwesi Appiah, however, insists he is at peace with his former Black Stars playmate. That's what he said. Abedi Pele is a very good friend of mine. Myself and Abedi Pele debuted in the Black Stars as young players on the same day, the very same day. Yes, they did. He told Atinka FM, we have been very good friends since. It is those people outside who speculate about other things. Meanwhile, Andre Ayew and Jordan Ayew are reported to have received invites for Ghana's Cup of Nations qualifier against Eritrea. Dash it away. Surprisingly, in fact, Kwesi Appiah invited the 2 brothers, even at the time that people were fighting them. In fact, he brought the boys on. Even when Ghanaians wanted him to drop Jordan and even the big brother Dede, he still kept them in the team. And it was surprising. But Ghanaians said they were not on good terms. How come he's not dropping them? He's invited them and kept them in the team. And to make it worse, he even gave the captain's band to Dede. The captain's band was taken from him by C.K. Jamfi and given to Abedi Pele because he couldn't speak French. When it came to his turn to become coach, he also took the captain's band from Asamoah Gyan, who also couldn't speak French, and gave it to Dede Ayew, who who speaks French. Hey. So French is the common denominator. Toi, tu parles français? Est-ce que tu parles français? Tu ne parles pas français? Moi, je parle français. Oh là là. French is very important. Oh my God. Si tu ne parles pas français, tu ne peux pas être le captain des Black Stars. Oh gosh. Oh la la. Hear me now. The interesting things are yet to come. But we had an exclusive interview with Kwesi Appiah. Hey! And he went deeper into it. I'm going to just play a little bit of it. That's the man who wants to be the coach of the Black Stars for the 3rd time. And we wish him all the best. We want him to be coach. Listen to the tape. Let's listen to it together.
Finally, the captainship band was taken from you and given to Abedi Pele. You fielded his 2 sons without any bitterness or something. How did that affect you?
There is a problem with, I don't know whether it's a problem in Ghana alone or in Africa. You know, if a player who is doing well, it's got nothing to do with the father or the mother or whether you are, even the player that maybe you might have fought with the player along the line. But if he's a good player, he's a good player. Irrespective of whether there are any issues. First of all, this captaincy issue you're talking about happened in 1992. And I've visited Abedi's house, sat down, ate with him.
Oh wow.
On about, I'll say about 6 or 7 times.
Oh wow. Oh, so you have a good relationship.
No, I don't have any problem because you see, maybe that I'll say is how I view a captain, because this is a nation, and you are thinking of serving your nation. You are not thinking of, because this one has the captaincy or this one has the captaincy. What you should be thinking of first is how best we can perform on the pitch for the nation. You know. So after the competition, we've been friends, we talk. As I said, you can ask him. I visited him in his house.
Wow.
Sat down with him, ate and drank. He says that people speculate the whole lot of things.
Oh, wow.
I don't really know what to say.
Wow, so you still have a good relationship?
Very, very good relationship.
Very, very good relationship. Kwesi Appiah, for the very first time, disclosed to us in the Blackport. He's visited Abedi Pele 6 or 7 times in his house. They sat down, they ate together, and they drank together. He agrees that yes, there was a confusion in 1992. But after the confusion, they sorted it out long ago. And he has visited Abedi Pele 7 times. So he settled. This is the Blackport, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And of course, when we return, we have more. We have a second story. Run it. What is the story talking about? Watch it. Hey, Ghana scared of wild Burkina influx. Ghana scared of wild Burkina influx. Remember, the president of Ghana went all the way to America at the Africa-American Summit, the Leaders Summit, and he told the American people that Wagner had been contracted all the way from Russia to come into Burkina Faso and around the northern borders of Ghana. The Wagner guys, in fact mercenaries, are perambulating the whole area, and that is distressing. That's the word he used. So the Americans should come and help. Now, Burkinabés are running from Burkina Faso into Ghana in their numbers. Why are they doing that? Hey! Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, and all those terrorist organizations have made Burkina Faso their delicacy. They slaughter our brothers and sisters there like animals. That's why in the first place, Burkina Faso decided to seek the help of France. And when France came, they didn't see any impact. So they went all the way to Russia and asked the Russians. They bypassed the AU, the African Union, because they believe it's a toothless bulldog. They went to Russia, one country. And when the Russians came, in fact, they gave them mines so that they would mine minerals and pay themselves for the service that they are rendering to the people of Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso ended up chasing the French out of their country like it happened in Mali and Central African Republic. It's terrible. Hear me now. Watch the headline. What does it say? And get to know, oh my God, how serious this issue is. 1,700 Burkinabés besiege Ghanaian town. GIS, that's the Ghana Immigration Service, military take positions. Come follow me. Personnel of the Ghana Immigration Service, GIS, and the military have taken up positions in Wingnaba, electoral area in the Boku district, as some 1,700 Burkinabés seek refuge in the Upper East Region town. The security personnel are ensuring maximum security as the refugees are housed in the homes of some Samaritans in the town. A local radio station has been told by an assemblyman. According to the assemblyman, Elisha Abila, their presence is causing a financial strain on the kitty of the assembly. Details suggest that the refugees are reacting to threats from so-called jihadists who are known to be active in the nearby Francophone country and beyond. While some of the refugees headed for Swago, others went to Sapialaga. The nearest place for them being, however, Wingnaba. Jesus. I'm sure a lot of you never knew that there were towns like this that existed in the north. All you know is Accra, Kumasi. Apart from that, there's no other place that can be called Ghana. So you had those countries, those places, right? Wingnaba. Sapialaga. Repeat after me, Sapialaga. You say it as if you're about to drink cocoa. Sapialaga. The assemblyman said, when you come here, you will see that really there are many foreigners here. Most of the houses are having at least 5 or more people. Continuing, he said, we did the registration of women and children. For the men, they come in the night and sleep. Early in the morning, they go back. For the women and children, we have registered 1,773. The military and personnel of the GIS have been stationed at vantage positions to ensure maximum security. The assemblyman called for public support to help the community feed and house the asylum seekers. Hey, we do not know when these people will go back. I was thinking that in a way, government could help in providing temporary structures for them. If they could help in feeding them, it will help us, he added. Dash it away. So Assemblyman Abela has spoken. He said that some thousands of Burkinabés are coming into Ghana. Like the president said, the northern border with Wagner parading and perambulating it is distressing. Now they are coming in because of jihadism. Jihadists are killing them, slaughtering them. In fact, in just about a year, we saw coup d'etats unprecedentedly in that beautiful country. I've been to Burkina Faso and I know the place quite well. They are great people. In fact, a major part of Burkinabés are actually Ghanaians. Their king is bigger than the president of Burkina Faso. I've been to Burkina Faso. I've been to the Mogonaba. That's the king of the Moses. He's almost like the president of that country twice. They respect him and love him. Now, those of you who know history, the Bosi people are from the Moli Dagbani group. They actually came out of the Dagombes. It was a Dagomba queen that they called Yeninga. My brother, my sister, oh my God. And her son, by name, Widraugo, which means the stallion. They founded Burkina Faso. In fact, the Moses, they are our own people. There are no foreigners in Africa. I hear the assemblyman say, there are a lot of foreigners. And who are those foreigners? Are they from Italy? Are they Japanese? Are they Chinese? How can an African in another African country be called a foreigner? We have to be very careful. It's because of these artificial borders and barriers perpetrated and unleashed on us by slave masters and partitionists. They were those who did this, my brother, my sister. But today you check it out, and we are calling our own brothers and sisters foreigners. Come along, come here. Hear me. The assemblyman is saying government is not giving money out to take care of the refugees. What is the Minister of Interior doing? Is that not the work of the Minister of Interior? Is it the assemblyman who would now have to go around and be counting how many people are in each man's house? We all have families in so many different African countries. We are one people. That's why when I see xenophobia around Africa, I feel sad. The government must come in and support the refugees. Again, you must have no right to stop anybody from coming into your country if they are running away from war or some other such thing. They are refugees. The international law says never ever stop them. Now we see this happening at Lampedusa. We see this happening in Morocco. Our brothers and sisters slaughtered night and day, all because of this wickedness. Ghana, treat this issue with tact and wisdom, or else we are going to have a serious problem with Burkina Faso. This is the time Burkina Faso needs Ghana. Ghana must be upstanding and support. This is going to get worse because the economy of that country is also deteriorating fast. We are the only people who can solve our problems. Wagner can never solve the problems of Russia. I beg your pardon, Burkina Faso. Russia can never solve the problems of Africa. France can never solve the problems of Africa. It's only Africans who can solve their own problems. This is a test case for us. Let's receive these people good. To those in Boku who are already providing food and all that, just make sure that they are registered properly. Make sure that the security checks out to see that nobody comes in with any deadly weapons and all that. Because the security is important as well. As for the food, we can always share. Share your food. Treat them good. Embrace them. Let them feel at home. They are already distressed. It's time to give them a shoulder to cry on. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. When we return, we have more. Hey! Woyo!
Blakk Pot, Kukushonomo.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonomo, where we speak truth to power. And I love you. Remember to pick our numbers scrolling on your screens. Do business with us. The more you do business with us, the more we prosper. Of course, after you have prospered. Now, in this game, I hate to call it a game, but it is a game of politics. You need programs like this to straighten our leaders. We are working on the mindset of our people. If the African mindset is not corrected, forget independence. It's a joke. All the countries that prospered after their various revolutions, they prospered because they worked on their mindset. Today you go to China, the educational system is all about Chinese. They speak Chinese, write Chinese. India, same thing. Even though they were colonized by the British. You go to Belgium, it's the same thing. Germany is the same thing. You cannot go to a German university and expect to write your examination in English. Then there must be special schools. But over here, we are still seriously speaking the colonialist language. And we hate our own languages. We cannot prosper like that. The Chinese translated everything from their colonizers' language back into their own language and went ahead and prospered. Today we are competing with who speaks English better, who speaks French better, but not who speaks Mosi better, Twi better, Dagbani better, Gruni better, Sisale better. Nah. That's why we are here, to rewire the mindset of our people so we can have a prosperous continent as well. And when you speak the truth, a lot of people shy away from you. That's why you must be a friend of the truth. This is the Blakk Pot, aka Kukushonamo. Do business with us, and our socials are also on the screen. We are on Instagram. At the same time, we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and also on what? Twitter. And we are called Blakk Empire Media. Please follow us. Follow us and do business with us. Next thing. Watch it. It's rolling on your screen and it says what? WAAKYE kills 5. Hospitalizes 40. What is WAAKYE? WAAKYE is rice and beans. Come here, let's look at it properly. It's yummy, isn't it? Those of you who love this food, you are uncountable. I am vegetarian, so I can only eat this without the other additives. This is somebody's Christmas food or Salah food. When you see this, then you know that you are in heaven. In Ghana. In Jamaica, they call it rice and peas. Here we call it WAAKYE. It's rice and peas or beans cooked together. And you see 2 eggs boiled and cooked at the same time. After boiling the eggs, you put the eggs right there in the stew so that it has that kind of color and soaks up the stew. Now you have the fish looking southeast, probably saying, oh God, why did you create me a fish? Somebody's going to eat this fish. This is WAAKYE, and it's served on this special leaf. It's a special leaf. This leaf, you can only find it in the jungle. Some people believe that it has health-giving properties. So nobody buys WAAKYE in a bowl. The whole Ghana, we all will not say we have eaten WAAKYE if we don't eat it from this leaf. If you eat it from a bowl, then you've eaten rice and peas. But if you eat it from this leaf, then it means that you've eaten WAAKYE. And that dark sauce lying on top, you see there's a red one on the side, and then there is the dark one. The dark one is called shito. My brothers in Fafra land cannot say shito. In fact, they say sito. Sito. In fact, my girlfriends do not also know how to say shito, even though that is their word. They also say sito. Sit, they say shit. Eat, they say heat. Jesus have mercy. It's interesting. One people, different thanks. Hey, people ate WAAKYE, and 5 of them died, including a pregnant woman. 40 hospitalized. What happened? Suspected food poisoning. 5 died after eating WAAKYE. Where? and this is 27th January 2023. It says 5 people have reportedly died after eating a meal of rice and beans, popularly known as WAAKYE, they bought from a food joint at Oyibi Bush Canteen Junction in Accra. About 40 people were reportedly affected, out of which 5, including a pregnant woman and a lotto vendor, died. The victims, including the WAAKYE seller, popularly known as Yellow Sisi, and some of her family members were rushed to the Valley View Hospital, Oyibi Hospital, Dodowa Hospital, and other facilities when they complained of severe stomach aches after they had eaten the food last week Friday. The Yellow Sisi WAAKYE joint is considered to be one of the popular food joints at Oyibi Bush Canteen. In fact, people leave Accra. Some even come from Kumasi, Dodowa, to come and eat Yellow Sisi food joint. When the Daily Graphic team visited the area, it observed that the joint was quiet and the kiosk locked. And people were angry that why they were either to eat, and poison or no poison, they will still eat it because they are addicted to the food. Some shops close to the food joint were also closed, as it is believed that the shop owners who also patronized the food that day and suffered the side effects were also said to be receiving treatment in a hospital. Confirmation and investigation. When the Daily Graphic followed up at the Valley View Hospital for confirmation, hospital officials did confirm the incident, indicating that a number of patients were rushed to the hospital in bad condition. But as of today, all the patients have been discharged. An official said, wow. Hospital officials could not provide enough information as to the number of people who might have been affected, but only indicated that the data from the hospital had been forwarded to the Konkatamanso District Hospital, where further investigations was ongoing to ascertain the cause of the problem. Officials at the district hospital confirmed the story, but said they were conducting further tests on patients to find out whether it was indeed a case of food poisoning or something else. Dash it away. My brother, this is a country where we eat everything to the point of eating the feces of grass cutters. When you go to Ashanti region, that is their favorite. Grass cutter. Grass cutter. The excreta. They use it to make soup and eat fufu with it. This is a country where in the north people eat all kinds of snakes. Poisonous and non-poisonous snakes, they will eat you. This is a country where people eat lizards. We live in a country, my brother, my sister, where people eat worms in the Ashanti region. They call it akwakono. They eat it. We live in a country where people eat termites. Flying termites. They eat all this. As for the dogs and those other ones, listen, you cannot disrespect your body like that. We live in a country where we import everything. Every food we eat is from the white man's kitchen. What are we using our land for? Huh? To the point that now Chinese people are producing cassava for us to use to pound our fufu in Ghana. Are we crazy? There was no way cocoa could have grown in China. Today they are growing cocoa in China. Everything now is artificial. Organic farming is thrown to the dogs. Imagine this sad thing. I remember several years ago when I was a little child of about 7. It happened in my hometown, Dolinbizon, and also in Tumu. There was a popular kenke seller. In fact, she would prepare 2 big pots of kenke. And the north kenke, the kenke in the north is like a stone. When you throw it against the wall, it will bounce back at you 20 times. It's hard. I don't know what they used to do that. My brother, they call it dokuno. Hey! In my village, Dolinbizon, and in Tumu, They patronized this food because it was cheap and nice. My brother, people were dying in their droves. You know what happened? The corn that was used to make it was poison. They had used some kind of spray. They said they were going to kill insects. They ended up killing both insects and human beings. And they came out with a song. Adi dakunu kanaje. Nsena was on nenge. Nsena was on nenge. Nsena was on nenge. Adi dakunu kanaje wa. Adi dakunu kanaje wa. Nsena was on nenge. Kigda. I remember as a little child we sang this song. You know what that means? That you will eat dokunu and raise one leg up. It's another way of saying you will eat it and die. Today we are eating WAAKYE and dying. Why should we die from eating WAAKYE? There are other things that are killing us. Our own WAAKYE too should kill us. I hope that the authorities will go deep into this and find out what the cause is, so that we don't repeat that. In this country, we sweep everything under the carpet in the name of protecting the food joint. Now, the owner of the food joint herself, Yellow Sisi, is in the hospital running diarrhea. When we return, we'll eat some more WAAKYE. Hey! Wayo!
Blakk Cocoa Show, man.
This is the Blakk Pot, aka Cocoa Show, and here we speak truth to power. Black Mamba. So when men say they have a black mamba in their pants, beware, ladies. Pew, pew. Black Mamba is not the same as Akokono. Even though Akokono also works like that. Sunsuno. And WAAKYE wo and I say important. Somebody's challenging me that Akokono is not a worm. Say a so tree uka worm I just say sunsuno. Na Akokono nomana. And I say a ponko. Akokono ye or say oh eno Akokono. Enti Akokono no ye classify you saying is it a bird or is it a reptile or see on tiasie na Akokono de Akokono and a sunsun so oh Jesus have mercy. Next item. Ghana students abroad in limbo again. As for this country, we have disgraceful leaders who have no respect for decency. All they are thinking about is how to win elections. They are disgraceful leaders. They are sons of Satan. I don't like them. I don't care if you like them or not. Listen, people are giving scholarships to go out of the country and go and study. Every now and then, they are stranded on the streets. Some of them have to go out and look for menial jobs to do in order to stay alive. Yet they are on scholarship. And interestingly, a lot of these people who are on scholarship are the children of politicians, or the children of the friends of politicians, or children of girlfriends of politicians, or girlfriends of politicians, or gay partners of politicians, and they are there. If the government says, oh, scholarship is available for brilliant students, brilliant but needy, go there. You'll be shocked. I see Edun Katia. And all those people, their children are there. And they say they are also brilliant and needy. Ajwa Safo. And all those people, a minister of state, is brilliant but needy. Can you believe this? And they go and take the scholarship. Yet my own brothers and sisters in Pesingpe, in Salaga, in Duri Gaga Gaga Duri, in Dolin Bizong, in Tumu, they are there struggling. Wicked people. My brother, now look at what is happening. Ghanaian students on government scholarship stranded in UK over delayed stipend. In fact, it's our middle name, delay, delay, delay. And when you go to church, I fight delay, I kill delay. Is it delay, mackerel? Watch this. Some Ghanaian students in the United Kingdom under the Ghana Scholarship Secretariat are said to be stranded as they have not received their monthly stipends for 8 months. Wicked guys. Yet the politicians' salaries never delay. They are there 8 months. How should they eat? Why? An online petition calling for government's assistance to salvage the situation said some of the students have been dismissed from their school, while others are being chased by their schools and landlords to pay their rent. Others have had to overstay because they cannot get money to go back to their country. Some have been sued by their landlords for refusal to pay rent, the petition noted. Joy News's interaction with some of the students confirmed the hardships and struggles. Those who even graduated in December last year were paid only 3 or 4 months of stipends. The rest of the 9 months, 0. I came here in September last year, no stipend has been paid, they disclosed. Meanwhile, the Scholarship Secretariat, in responding to the matter, urged the students to remain steadfast and avoid engaging in any illegal act which could lead to embarrassing the country. Can you see this foolish talk? The Scholarship Secretariat said, listen, they should remain steadfast and avoid engaging in illegal acts which could lead to embarrassing the country. You have embarrassed the country already. 8 months. What should they eat? Stones and gravel? Next page. As we conclave to consider strategies, we urge our scholars globally to forswear any acts of wrongdoings that will result in embarrassment to the government of Ghana. All they know is big grammar. As we conclave to consider strategies, we urge our scholars globally to forswear any acts of wrongdoings that will result in the embarrassment of the government of Ghana. In reality, this is the time to exhibit that real character of resilience as a Ghanaian, and we advise the scholars to remain steadfast to the terms and conditions of scholarship award even in the face of these challenges. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. You are being fed. Your pot bellies are growing. People's children are there. In a strange country, winter is biting them. 8 months. He said they should remain steadfast and resilient. Posterity will judge you guys. Dash it away. It's time to go. Well, my name is Blakk RASTA. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you and I love you. It's been the Blakk Pot, aka Kokushonomo, and we always speak truth to power. I love you. Pick up our numbers and do business with us. Call us. We respond every time of the day. It doesn't matter whether you call us at midnight. Even if we're in the shower, we run out and pick up, hello! And when we hear hello, please forgive us. It means you just woke us up from a nightmare. But we would always respond. This is the show. Hi! Wayo!